I'm not really raising anything here that I'm not willing to call a shove with because of that guy. This I'm going to shove though. Okay, so we've got this $5 cubed. Now got 9 tables open. I'm going to have a look at what we've got registered here, just to make sure that our table count doesn't go up too high. I'm going to unregister for some of the lower stakes tournaments here. Just to, like I say, to keep my table count down to a manageable level. Because I don't want too many tables open. I don't want to end up kind of, you know, struggling to talk through my decisions while I'm running the stream. And obviously I want to avoid the kind of lag issues that I experienced yesterday. But I'm going to try and keep the number of tables up around about 10, and no more than 12 if possible. This is weird. This is like Table Ninja putting in some ridiculous auto bet sizings at the moment. When I'm under the gun, we flop the world here, so no sense in yeah, I'm going to lead. Okay, so this guy is folding to 100% of c-bet, so I feel like when I c-bet here and he calls, he's pretty much defined his range pretty handily for me. I did consider check shoving this. I suppose like in this position, no, I can't really make any. I was going to say that if a guy like this limps, but a guy like this, I've only got like 5 hands at these blind levels with this guy, so I can't really make any kind of inferences about what he might be doing that small bet size on the flop with after limping. No, I'm going to fold. Did consider isolating there. Here I'm going to raise, because we have position. When he donks on a flop like this, I'm going to flat call and just see what he does on the turn. I'm going to bet quite small here, just to encourage him to come along. And I'm going to raise here. I'm going to call. Yeah, it's interesting. This is unfortunate. Just run out for a second there. I was scared that this guy had some weird straight. Okay, so we're doing pretty well. We're in first position early on in this $4.50 sit and go. We are chipping up steadily in the big 5, which we registered late for. Also got a decent stack to start with in the big 8. Building a big stack here too, shortly. This is a shove. This is a raise. And we're generally being pretty aggressive and pretty wide ranges. We've got a huge stack in this tournament, and we're just going to keep up the aggression. I'm going to keep raising and creating that dynamic that's going to help me get paid off with my big hands, but then just playing very cautiously post flop, especially when I'm out of position. I'm not really looking to do what I was doing yesterday and bluff too much. Okay, this guy looks... I mean, so far he's been pretty nitty. But there's still quite a lot of value to be had. Just kind of picking my spots fairly judiciously, so I'm going to fold that ace deuce suited. I did consider shoving because I do have like an ace blocker, and you know, ace rag suited does reasonably well against a calling range. But I'm still like, you know, I've still got like room to maneuver here with an 18 big blind stack in the big five. There's going to be so many more like really unambiguous spots to pick up chips where I don't have to risk my tournament life. I'm going to fold the king queen offsuit there under the gun. Just because with my current table image I don't think I'm going to get paid off enough. Yeah, this guy's opening a 50% range. Unfortunately I don't have anything that I can shove with and expect to get have any kind of decent equity if called. So I was going to fold that anyway. This on the other hand, versus this guy who looks pretty tight, I'm just going to flat here. And just encourage these guys to come along, because this does reasonably well multi-way. We get a raise, so we're going to make it smallish. Encourage him to come back over the top with something stupid. Or hopefully something that we absolutely crush, which is almost everything with aces. Yep, that's good. No sense turning my hand into a bluff just yet. As I say, he does look pretty tight. Even over a small sample. When he makes it this small, with this much left behind, not really deep enough to see another card. This guy looks really, really tight, so I'm going to pitch this. It doesn't do too well post flop. Here we're going to c-bet. This I can probably raise fold, given this stack distribution and given the fact that the short stack here is sitting out. No sense in holding back. I mean, he's got a pot-sized bet left in his stack, so I'm going to check here because I feel like when this guy calls, no, actually, I'm just gonna shove. No, actually, no, I'm going to check shove. He doesn't bite, so I'm going to shove. I hope he calls me with the jack. This I'm going to shove, just because I have blockers, and this guy could conceivably call me with all kinds of like trash that I've got a decent... or he could just be completely dominating us and flop the world against us. That's unfortunate. Oh well. We had blockers, but we just got coolered, so that's okay. This I'm going to open raise under the gun. This is not because I'm hoping to play post-flop with ace-10 offsuit, but just because I have so much fold equity. Because it looks so strong, raising under the gun off a 22 big blind stack. But when this guy, who looks pretty tight, 3-bet shoves on us, we have to fold. It's a call. guy's pretty tight, so we're going to fold this. Too many reshove stacks, even with this guy kind of setting out. Yeah, I'm just going to raise. With this guy setting out, I feel like I can call this guy's shove. Because he looks pretty maniacal, and he's very short stacked, and we're still in the rebuy period. This guy doesn't fold his small blind very often, and he does have position on us, so I'm going to be very conservative here and just like fold this, because it doesn't do well if called out of position, even when it does flop an ace. It's hard to get value. Gonna flat here. This, on the other hand, is a raise because he's folding his small blind 50% of the time, and this guy is a relative unknown. And we have a king blocker. When he 3-bets this big, I feel like it's because he's reacting to the fact that we're stealing so frequently. Make a case for shoving over, but I don't think he's doing this with the intent of folding, because he's just committed a significant portion of his stack. So we'll give him credit and just let that hand build up the dynamic with these players, so that we get paid off with our big hands. Because we're in an interesting position here. We've got a guy here who looks pretty straightforward, standard nit taggish. We've got this other guy who looks, probably about the same, a little bit looser, but still pretty kind of standard for these stakes. And because we're kind of fairly deep with both of them, it pays to kind of open pretty wide from all positions and get involved in like some kind of like tussle with these two guys to build up the kind of dynamic that's going to cause them to make mistakes versus us, and not give us enough credit when we raise with our big hands. Yeah, this guy is raising quite frequently from early position, so I'm going to ISO him. This guy also is opening from early position quite a lot, but this time I'm just going to flat because he doesn't seem to be folding too many 3-bets. And this does reasonably well multi-way if it's called. So I want to encourage calls on this table. Not a great flop, but that's okay. He's betting 65%, c-betting 67%. With this guy left to act behind, though, I'm going to get rid of this. Had it just been me and this guy here, I might make a case for raising his c-bet. This guy is a huge nit, so I'm just going to flat, because I'm deep enough to set mine with him. Obviously on a board like this, I'm just check folding. I'm just folding to any aggression. This, however, I'm going to ISO. I'm going to fold this just because I've been reasonably active on that table. I don't want to get played back at, and it doesn't do too well post flop even in position.